when Duce came in, actually we were at the end of my my freshman year. We had players at ICC like Joe Horn and Tim Bowens and Norman Hand and a lot of NFL talent guys, and Duce comes in my sophomore year, and from the time he got on campus, he was one of those guys you could tell that he was NFL talent. We didn't know it at the time what we were looking at, but it was truly amazing what he was as an athlete. His ability was above and beyond what we had seen, especially as a skill position player. One of the things I remember about Duce is his ability as an athlete to do everything involved with football. I think if Duce had come to ICC as a quarterback, I might have had a job there. He was just really good at the game and was a student of the game. And of course, we had a lot of memories together. Anytime you go through battle that many times with somebody, you have a lot of memories of it. And a great story that I remember about Duce, and a lot of my teammates will certainly remember this event. When you get to the college, when you get to ICC or any college for that matter, you have some time where everybody's trying to figure out who's good and who can play and who's the big guy on campus and things like that. We had a middle linebacker by the name of Marcus Gary. Duce and Marcus were like mirror images of each other. Marcus being a linebacker and Duce a running back, and those guys were still filling it out to try to figure out who the big man was, and they often we got tied up one day, and Duce grabs Marcus by the face mask, yanked his face mask off his helmet. Wow. And at that time, everybody, offense, defense, coaches, everybody just froze and just went silent, and nobody knew what to do. But at that time, we were like, holy cow, this guy's strong. Certainly, we already knew he was a tremendous athlete, but that stood out to me as something that we realized he was a strong player at that point. One of the things I remember about him also, when he came to us, still developing physically as a player, and he came to us, we were on the double wing his freshman year, and he was a slot back guy. You know, we got him the ball some that way, and during the time there, by his second year there, it was very clear that he was a talented player, and he became the featured back in our offense. And I saw him play an entire football career at ICC, I guess 2 years at ICC, and I never saw a defensive player get a solid lick on him. That was one of the things that stood out to me. Is you run the ball that many times in junior college, you think these guys are going to start trying to tee off on me eventually, and I never saw anybody get a solid lick on Duce. And I think it was that way a lot of times in the NFL, you know, playing against world-class athletes, and he was certainly a fantastic running back. During my time as coach, and I had an opportunity to play with him during his freshman year, which would have been my sophomore year, coached him the following year, and again, his ability to learn, be a student of the game, he was like a sponge. He was soaking up football information, and he was able to use that information later in life, and it certainly served him well. I think Duce, represented the student athlete better than anybody that I'd been around at the time. He was a student of the game, but he took his education seriously. He was actually one of the guys who would, come to his class, go to classes and go to study hall, and when he gets to the football field, he was all business there. And I think that he carried that with him in life, helped him develop to the next level, and that's a lot of times what it's about, is developing to the next level, and what he was able to accomplish as a player and now as a coach certainly has been really impressive to see how far he's been able to come. Congratulations, Duce. We're certainly proud of you. It was a great honor playing with you and coaching you. You're a well-deserving person for this honor. ICC is proud of you and your accomplishments.
Former ICC great Duce Staley was a member of the 1993 and 1994 football teams that featured future NFLers such as Ron Dixon and Jason Ferguson. During his sophomore season, ICC finished 8-3 and won the North Division Championship, with Staley earning MACJC All-Star and NJCAA All-American honors. Staley signed with South Carolina, and as a senior, he was ranked 13th in the nation in rushing with 1,116 yards. In his 2-year career with the Gamecocks, Staley rushed for 1,582 yards, 45 carries for an average of 4.6 yards per carry. He also caught 59 passes for 489 yards and 2 touchdowns. Staley was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles as the 71st pick in the 3rd round of the 1997 NFL Draft. He became the Eagles' starting running back after his rookie season, and under the direction of Coach Andy Reid, Staley developed into the team's perennial leading receiver through the screen-heavy West Coast offense. After leaving the Eagles in 2003, Staley signed a 5-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team he rooted for as a child. He instantly became the number 1 running back for the Steelers and was seen as the eventual heir apparent of Jerome Bettis. Staley played in 10 games during the 2004 season and rushed for 830 yards. He only scored 1 touchdown as Bettis took most of the goal line carries that season. Set back due to an injury in 2005, Staley rushed for 148 yards in 5 games, averaging 3.9 yards per carry. Staley and the Steelers went on to win Super Bowl 15, giving Duce his first ever NFL championship. Staley officially retired as an Eagle during the Eagles and Giants game on December 9, 2007. At halftime, Staley was escorted onto the field by former teammates for his retirement celebration, featuring a brief ceremony with 2 highlight videos to commemorate his number 22 jersey being retired. Duce amassed 5,785 yards, 24 touchdowns, and averaged 4 yards a carry while hauling in 287 catches for 2,587 yards and 10 touchdowns in his 10-year career. He is widely considered one of the most popular and toughest players ever to suit up for the Eagles. He's ranked 6th in the Eagles' record book in total yards from scrimmage and 16th in receptions. He was voted by his teammates as the Eagles' offensive MVP in 1998, 99, and 2002. His performance against the Dallas Cowboys in 2000, infamously known as the Pickle Juice game, is considered to be one of the top 5 all-time greatest single-game performances in the history of the Eagles franchise. It was a game where his yards from scrimmage were the only numbers bigger than the triple-digit temperatures as he rushed for 201 yards on 26 carries, just missing the Eagles' single-game rushing record by 4 yards. He also added 4 catches for 61 yards for a total of 262 yards of the team's 306 yards of total offense in the game. During his playing days, Duce was very active in the community as he worked with the Special Olympics, First Step early childhood educational programs. He also launched the Catch-22 Foundation that was created to help assist single mothers. In 2003, he also traveled to the Middle East as part of the USO to greet U.S. troops stationed abroad. In 2010, Staley became a coaching intern for the Eagles during the off-season. In February of 2011, he was promoted to the Special Teams Quality Control Coach. When Chip Kelly took over for the Eagles, Duce was promoted to the team's running back coach. After Kelly was fired in 2015, Staley was interviewed for the vacant head coaching job in 2016. The Eagles ultimately hired Doug Peterson, and Duce retained his position as the team's running back coach. This season marks Staley's 6th as a running back coach for the Eagles. In his first season, he was part of an offense that helped set the franchise record in points, total yards, touchdowns, passing yards, and fewest turnovers. He would go on to break his own records in points, touchdowns, and passing yards during the 2014 season. Duce and the Eagles are currently in San Francisco as Philadelphia looks to improve to 7-1 on the season with a win over the 49ers on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 ICC Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Duce Staley.